Welcome to today's video. So after a friend's request, I was thinking of doing more of a recipe and cooking video. So I will not do what I eat in a day because I've talked about it a bit before, but I don't think that it is helpful nor healthy, and everyone's needs are different depending on their own bodies, physical abilities and physiology. So I'm not gonna do that, but I want you guys to have some inspo for breakfast, lunch, dinner, maybe some snacks or drinks or whatever. So I'm gonna start off with something that I love making at the moment, which is a yogurt bowl. And I like to have a lot of protein in the morning. It just helps me stabilize my mood, my hormones, my energy. So I'm starting off with some Greek yogurt. I have cinnamon, a mix of hemp and chia seeds, and this is bone broth protein powder. So I made a video about that, but it is actually now my favorite protein ever. It's super pricey, but it's very, very good and I digest it so well. And then important, some Himalayan pink salt. So we'll start basically with my protein. So I put like 1.5 tablespoons of my protein. Then we'll add about 1 teaspoon of chia seeds and hemp seeds, which is incredible for omega-3s by the way. A little bit of cinnamon, I'm not really measuring that, just like depending on what you like. Sprinkle of sea salt, Himalayan salt, sorry. And then my yogurt, so I like actually mixing it up the night before and then adding all the toppings, the fresh foods and everything in the morning. So it spares me time and energy and I get to do all the creative parts in the morning. So I would do, I don't know, I'm not really measuring, but like this is what I would put in there. So like about 4 big tablespoons. And then mixing it all up. Sometimes when it's a bit too thick, I like to add some water to have like a smooth texture. I'll show you guys at the end what it looks like. That is a typical breakfast I'm doing right now and I love it. And now putting it in the fridge. Back from my day, I am preparing some dinner for tonight. So I have really been into roasted veggies and pumpkin and all the sweet potato and that kind of stuff. So basically what I did, now it's in the oven, I'll show you. But so I cut some sweet potato, some butternut, garlic, and I mixed it all up with some olive oil and salt and turmeric. And I combined it and then put it in the oven like for 25 minutes. Added my roasted kale to the mix and gonna add my veggies, my sweet potatoes and stuff. And probably also gonna add a bit more bone broth to make it a bit more saucy. Here is my bowl, so just gonna top it up with some tahini. Tablespoon, yep. Some salt and pepper. And that's it. Just gonna enjoy this meal and see you tomorrow for my breakfast. Morning. So it is topping time. So I cut some fruits. I like to do in-season fruits besides the strawberries, but yeah, that's full of nutrients. And then I have some cacao nibs, cashew butter, some pumpkin seeds, and some Brazil nuts with granola. So we're gonna top it up with that. This is the granola, so I had a mix of homemade granola and then there's also some buckwheat and maple syrup clusters that I bought at Scoop Whole Foods, and it's all like activated. So yeah, I'm mixing both these up. I am back from my grocery trip this morning. I bought some eggs and basically what I'm gonna make for lunch. We have some sourdough, probably toast the eggs, and then I had some leftovers of kale that I roasted, and I'm gonna basically heat it up with some chicken broth to get some digestive enzymes and also some protein in. Usually always do a probiotic at least 2 times a day if I can. So this one is just vegan kimchi, and yeah, we'll just add like a big spoonful to my plate, and then I'm gonna top it up well with some tahini. So this is tahini neri. It is pretty clean, and I basically buy that one in Woolies, so just like the local supermarket. And yeah, it's gonna be my lunch. For the eggs, a little hack to keep the yolk very runny. It's 6 minutes in boiling water. Remove the shell and it's still very yolky. Yum.